Alright, since we're talking a little about monsters, and we've talked about tribute monsters, ritual monsters, synchro monsters, all types of monsters at this point in time, I'm going to talk a little bit about what most people call, I guess they would call broken cards. For right now, I'm going to call them the crazies, because that's what they are. They're crazy. They open up game-changing moves. They switch the tide of the game, and we'll just talk about a couple of these cards to show that even though a monster has 7 stars, you don't need to sacrifice for it. Or just because a monster only has 1300 attack and it's a 3-star doesn't mean that it can't take down a big boy that has like 2500 attack, or that, it's a useless card. To begin, I'm going to start with a little card called Lone Fire Blossom. This card has 500 attack and 1400 defense, and it's an effect monster. What you can do with this is on your turn you can normal summon it, and then tribute it right away. Like, you don't even have to wait. You can tribute it right away to search through your 40 card deck for any plant type monster, any, pretty much. It can have a lot of stars. It can have a really cool effect. I mean, you can search through your entire plant deck. As long as it's a plant monster, you can search through your entire plant deck and pick out whichever one you want and special summon it onto the field. Most of the time, people go for this card right here. It's Titanial. She has 2800 attack and 2600 defense, and she has a really nasty effect where if your opponent tries to target a card on your side of the field, any card, doesn't matter if it's her, or let's say you have a trap or a spell card set, you can tribute her to destroy that card and save that card that they're trying to get rid of. Or if you have another plant type monster out on the field, you can tribute that plant and keep your big beater. But yeah, 2800 attack from a little 500 attack monster. Little things, big packages, whatever. But yeah, that's one of the crazies. Another one of the crazies is called Gores. And what this guy does is, let's say you have a clear field and you have him in your hand, like you don't have any trap cards set, no spell cards set, nothing, and your opponent attacks with like a really big beefy monster, say it has 3000 attack. What happens when you take battle damage is you special summon this guy from your hand, and then he brings out a token with him, and you can special summon this guy in defense mode if you want to, or attack mode, and you can do the same thing with his token, attack mode, defense mode. But if he attacks you with a 3000 attack monster, the token gets 3000 attack and defense. So with that token, you can kamikaze or suicide into the big monster, and then you have a 2700 attack monster to attack directly. So, I mean, he's another crazy card, game changer. What else? Here's another little guy, Blackwing, Gale the Whirlwind. He's only a 3-star, 1300 attack, 400 defense. But what this little guy does is he takes your opponent's monster and he chops that attack in half. So if you have a 2500 attack monster in attack mode and you summon this guy, you chop your opponent's 2500 attack monster's attack in half, which brings it to 1250. He can take it out. And not only that, he's a tuner. So you can potentially make something like this out of him. So an even better scenario is that you have a 4-star on your side of the field. You summon him, you chop the monster in half, and then you tune for a bigger monster and do even more damage. So, I mean, that little guy alone can open up a lot of possibilities. Let's see here. 2 more cards. Possibly one of the most feared and most crazy card the game has ever known is Dark Arm Dragon. The reason why I say this is because this guy had literally a deck built around him that dominated the game for an entire 6 months. Nobody could touch the deck that he was in, and nobody has been able to recreate the success that this guy had alone. So, basically, this guy is useless unless you have three dark monsters in your graveyard. No more, no less. There has to be exactly 3. When that happens, he is special summoned from your hand, and once he is on the field, you can remove dark monsters from your graveyard to destroy anything you want on the field. So for every dark monster you remove from your graveyard with his effect, you destroy something on the field. And if your opponent only has 2 cards on the field, you remove 2 of the dark monsters in the graveyard, and you destroy those 2 cards, and then you attack for 2,800 directly. But yeah, he's a game changer. He opens stuff up when there's nothing there. And now my personal favorite, and I use him all the time because I have a deck dedicated and based around him, is Red Eyes Duchess Metal Dragon. Of course, you had to know I was going to mention this card. But anyways, dragon card on the field, you can remove that card from the game, from play as they call it, to special summon him. Doesn't eat up your normal summon, so like if something bad happens, you still have the option to set a card or summon a card still. But anyways, you remove a dragon from play and special summon him. 2,800 attack, 2,400 defense. You can special summon dragons from the graveyard out on the field. Doesn't matter their level. They can be blue eyes, red eyes, anything that's crazy high attack. You can special summon them from your hand. You can do a lot of crazy stuff and open up a lot of plays as well. Swarm the field really fast with a lot of powerful dragon monsters. But yeah, he's another one of the crazies too. Anyways, there's tons of monsters like this in the game. They don't eat up your normal summon. You special summon a lot. Keep your opponent off balance, make them burn resources. But yeah, keep your eyes open because there's always new combos. Older cards work with newer cards that are released and stuff. I mean, you just got to keep your mind open and, experiment a little bit. And hopefully, you find that combo that works right for you with the powerful card. Or you discover a new powerful card. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this little segment about the crazies. Try to run them in your deck. If you can't fit them, that's fine. Try to find one that works with your deck. But that's really about it for these bad boys.